welcome. You're watching Don Bosco Media Network. This is Monalisa Rambai bringing you the news and events from Meghalaya. Here are the headlines for today. No concrete evidence found in CM's office attack, says Jagdish Chelani. United Unions demands pending payments from the DC Rihoi district. Road woes in Ramrai reaches the EE PWD department. And HYC urges NEP 2020 exclusive meeting. Another news in detail. Deputy Commissioner Jagdish Chelani of West Garo Hills stated on 31st July that there is no concrete evidence to suggest that the July 24th attack on the Chief Minister's office during a meeting with Achik organization leaders was pre-planned or a conspiracy against the head of the state. The district administration is currently conducting 2 inquiries to determine the circumstances when unruly mobs resorted to violence, pelting stones and burning vehicles due to false stories propagated on social media. Deputy Commissioner Chelani clarified this after condemning comments made by Meghalaya Director General of Police DGP LR Bishnoi, who claimed the attack was an attempt to murder the Chief Minister during his visit to Garo Hills. The DGP's remarks were criticized by various Garo Hills organizations for lacking verification and branding the entire Garo community as terrorists, seemingly to deflect criticism over alleged police unpreparedness and intelligence failure. As the investigation continues, 3 key conspirators of the violence identified as Rakhi Sangma and Chukami Sangma, along with a Facebook user named Salgrik M. Sangma, who incited the mobs to attack, are currently on the run. The Deputy Commissioner appealed to them to surrender to the police.
Today we basically had the meeting. It was a debriefing meeting of all the officials. We had a meeting with all the magistrates and the police. We also had a peace committee meeting with all the religious leaders. It was a meeting basically towards understanding what happened that day, what went wrong, what were the misses and the hits that we had, what are we able to learn from this, and that in future whenever we are encountered with any of this kind of an incident, learning from each aspect of this incident, breaking it down individually, we are able to at least improve in whatever performances had or whatever happened from that day onwards. The peace committee meeting was oriented to requesting or urging our religious leaders to organize a special congregation towards channelizing the energy of our youth into more productive activities. We wanted to have collaboration with our religious leaders to organize some kind of skill development programs in the local congregations that can happen, talk about gender issues, talk about teenage pregnancies, talk about issues that matter to our youth today. Also, we wanted to have a discussion with them as to how they perceive the movement or the kind of forward step that the youth are taking today, and the way that we can collaborate together in channelizing their energy in much better. So today we basically discussed that we broke it down into different aspects. We wanted to learn about what happened in this event. We broke it from the starting of the permission that was granted for the sit-in demonstration to the post effect of that entire event. What happened, what kind of media attention it got, what kind of steps were taking during the protest that was happening, what happened with the mob that was doing this kind of violence. And those were the aspects that we discussed. We came to that realization itself that it was a small set of instigators who came out with a premeditated thought of creating ruckus at the arena, who came out with having the aspect of disrupting a peaceful meeting that was going on with our Honorable CM and the NGOs. But at this point of time, I think we do not have concrete evidence that this was a pre-planned conspiracy to hurt the CM. However, the inquiry into that aspect has already been issued, and with this end of the inquiry, we'll be able to make a certain statement that such a thing has happened. At the initial part, it was looking like with the evidences that we had, but now re-looking at all the evidences that were provided, having interrogation with the other aspects, other suspected people, it just turns out it was a small set of people who had that intention to disrupt the meeting. It was not the larger gathering. The larger gathering who, in fact, some of the people who did pelt the stones, never came out with that premeditated thought to actually hurl stones at anybody or hurt anybody. They came out with an aspect of an emotional motive of the request or demand for winter capital, and they wanted to do or collaborate towards the movement. So that is what happened, and in the wave of the emotions, they participated in an event that can be said as a act of violence or a mob violence, but they came out with that emotion not with a premeditated thought. That's a misinformation at this point of time. We had organized the meeting in the Circuit House with Honorable CM at 1:30 p.m. With a reporting time for the NGOs at 1 p.m. on the same day for all NGO groups and public. So given that the Honorable CM was visiting the district, CM sir wanted to meet the public in first and have a discussion with them, listen to all the matters that are there, including some of the NGO groups who did not want to be part of the demonstration that the public was doing but had the similar demand. So sir wanted to give that time to the public first, and it was our internal discussion itself along with our state police and Honorable CM sir itself that after this a meeting will be done at the mini secretariat. It had the approval with the Honorable CM sir and the state police team. It was not made public, it was not informed to anybody because nobody else had the need to know about it. The protesting groups which were the motive of the meeting, the protesting groups and the administration knew about it along with our Honorable CM sir. So it was not a sudden move, it was well understood that such a meeting will be done. I understand your point here. Our discussion with the DSP also came out with that thought that there was no intel provided in terms of any kind of mob that can go violent in our case. We had gathered the information that there will be people from other parts of the district also who will be participating in the event, but at no point there was an indication that the mob will go violent. If it was a very small set of people who had orchestrated at their level at what they want to do. But it was not a general mob participation in this case. I wouldn't go on to say that it was an in-failure without the completion of the inquiry at this point of time. What happened was unfortunate, but I believe it was sporadic at the moment. It wasn't aimed at causing this event premeditatively, but as I've said earlier in different forums as well, those who did it will be punished at the earliest. And we have already arrested 47 number of people in this regard, and an inquiry is already underway. They will be soon charge sheeted. The charge sheeted account will show us what kind of charges are leveled against them, and a higher level inquiry by both the Commissioner's office and the IG office has been put in to understand what kind of events had happened or came out, and they will give us a better idea about whether this entire thing was premeditated and was this an intel failure or not. At this point of time, I think it is too early to actually push the blame as an intel failure on this entire incident. I believe it was sporadic in nature. I believe that this entirely depends on the inquiry officer on duty, and though on Friday itself this inquiry has been instituted, so I believe within a period of 30 to 60 days this inquiry will take up all the aspects into notion, the charge sheeted files that have been done, and they should be able to come out with a recommendation from their side. But it is not for me to actually comment on this as I'm not the part of the inquiry officer here. So I believe once the inquiry officer comes out, I think that question can be put up to him. Sorry. The first inquiry, which has already been instituted, will be headed by the Inspector General of Police along with some other officials from the police side. The other inquiry, which probably will happen, will be from the Commissioner Secretary side. But that notification is still to be out. I wouldn't say go on again, as I said earlier, I wouldn't go on to say it was unprepared. Again, the time of experience that Tura has had with violence has been very few in the past so many years. And nobody anticipated that such a crowd will become unruly and cause such a violence over here. Honorable CM sir was inside, was discussing with the leaders of the movement who were doing the hunger strike, and we all assume that the leaders are the people who are representing the crowd, and that when the leaders will be satisfied with the discussion that has happened, they will go on and inform the crowd about this and end the hunger strike together along with the administration. So we believe that at no point of time did we anticipate such a kind of incident that happened immediately at that point. Again, as I said, that the movement was hijacked by a few elements which had political motives, and those few elements had the motive of disrupting the entire proceedings that were happening. They didn't want such an event to go peacefully or successfully, and this kind of hijacked the movement a little and played on the emotions of the public. At that point of time, the best course possible for the police was to strengthen the security that was available to us and to ensure that no kind of incitement to violence happens both from the public side or from the police side. And I believe that the police exercised excessive restraint and did very beautifully in order to not harm any of the citizens at that point of time. When the crowd hurled the first stone or when the first throwing the chairs has happened, then police had sprung into action and was able to dissipate the crowd within a period of less than 2 hours. At that point of time, if you would have noticed, even from that moment of time, except that road, the entire town was peaceful. Except that evening, every other day, the town was working peacefully, even on that road. So there has been no disruption of law and order or peace and tranquility in the nature. It was only for a period of couple of hours. Though understandably, the optics of the entire incident is much larger. It was an honorable CM, sir, who was taking the meeting, and it is honorable CM of a state who was inside in that building when this incident had happened. But our security forces were capable enough to curb any violence that has happened over there and limit the effect of injuries to a minimum. The 6 personnel at that moment of time who were hurt, having minor injuries, got the first aid treatment and were released the same night or same evening itself. So I believe the security forces have done a tremendously good job, and the public who were involved in that, the prime instigators, as we had said earlier as well, that they will definitely get the due share of the punishment through the courts of law under the law that is prescribed under our penal codes. So at this point of time, I believe that we have done a good job, especially the police has done a good job in post effect of that situation. And there are so many learnings that have come out of this incident, and we'll be able to take it forward, do much better in the times to come. And I believe, booking of the perpetrators is the first aspect to this first learning period. Still the prime instigators, some of them who have the name, I like to go on record and say that some of the instigators which we have identified is Raki Sangma and Chukhame Sangma. There is one Facebook profile of Salgir Kem Sangma, if I'm not wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in your profile, in your news. But these are the 3 instigators that we would like to book for instigation of such a violence. There are other people as well, but these have been identified as the prime instigators, and they are absconding from the law right now. If they are able to see this news, I will recommend that they surrender themselves in the nearest police station and be booked as per law, that for the chaos and the violence that they have created by manipulating the emotions of the public, by manipulating the due cause that the public had for winter capital. We have, I believe, police will be the best set of force to inform on that. But I believe police has circulated this information across all thanas in West Garo Hills at least, and must have informed it to other thanas as well and rest of the Garo Hills areas. And we have had breakthroughs in our investigations in the police department, and I'm sure that they are very much on the line in capturing these absconding people and apprehending them to finally make an arrest on them. I'll again say it is for their own safety and security that they should surrender. For the act of incidents that they have done is an act of terror against the security forces. But luckily, no people who were bystanders or no public has been affected in this incidents and have not been hurt. We are happy for that. And I believe that they will be booked appropriately for the act of incidents that they have done.
In a significant development, the Joint Action Committee of all Ribhoi passengers vehicles marched towards the office of the Deputy Commissioner of Ribhoi, Mr. Arpit Upadhyaya, on August 1st to demand pending payments from different government departments for drivers. The union expressed grave difficulties due to the delays and urged the government to pass all the outstanding payments. The union has been repeatedly meeting with the DC on the same issue, only to be met with excuses that the government has not released the funds. In solidarity, the Vehicles Union collaborated with food stall owners who had also been awaiting pending payments since the MLA elections in the state. A heated verbal exchange ensued between the Vehicle Union and the Food Stall Union with the DC. The confrontation continued for hours until the Deputy Commissioner assured them that their money would be released and cleared within 15 days. Following the DC's assurance, the tension subsided and the unions agreed to withdraw. However, they made it clear that if their demands were not met within the specified time frame, they would take their grievances to the streets.
What we are trying to do is right now, like within 15 days, we will clear some of the payments partially. Remaining payments will be done as soon as possible. Okay. So
all the payments, COVID-19 and then this
COVID-19 and Republic Day Independence Act will be done.
So you want that all the dues must
those
be cleared.
Will be done. Those will also be done 15 days. And election payments also partially we will try to do within 15 days only it will be done. Remaining payment will be done as soon as possible.
Suppose if within 15 days, if you won't receive, then what is the assurance from your side?
No, I'm giving you no assurance.
Suppose
Already
15
discussed
days.
with CEO sir and Chief Secretary sir. I don't think all of them are already aware of the issue. So they will clear some of your payments.
Not all.
Within, ma'am, it will take some time. And within 15 days, we'll clear your payments partially. Remaining payments will be done as soon as possible.
So, it's our request. If it is possible, sir, just talk with the CEO and the Chief Secretary that clear all the bills.
I'm having a meeting with them.
All the bills once only. Because
No, sir, we not
15 days will wait, then some of the bills will
15
receive.
days, then again another bill.
again,
We won't accept that.
No, it will be done as soon as possible. So now, please.
let us clarify to the cycle, sir. Katsam Sngi. Belum buat. Jajai cho karo Katsan Sngi ngin an. Ada hapo Katsan Sngi ngin yo ngin simpat da kawai karai. Kamar haner kondoni ada sangi hati banap. Sangi hat banap. Katsan Sngi ngin an. Ada hapo Katsan Sngi ngin yo ngin simpat da kawai patilak ngin yaki ikan. Karena dalam kebajai ngin sale pat da kawai.
Đây cũng tao mình xem là ông bà khát sang kia cũng lên cắt nó là hadin khát sang kia cũng phải ông cũng tao.
Orang mau kita sebelum clear ni ke Jingdawa jungi ke Taiwan, pun clear lut ya ke bil ke jungi. Ngin Katsan Sngi ngin a. Nilai Asia ke Sngi, ke Indonesia Katsan Sngi. Lada ngimyo aku Katsan Sngi ngin sasimpat da kiwai patilak sngi ki kampanye. Ban COVID-19, ban independence, ban dipendence, bala. So, cepat ke jingtok dia orang untuk kamu tusai gini media kita nane, ka proof kadang untuk kamu dia karikan sebenarnya.
Clear saya kita khát sang kia clear baru.
So, Katsan Sngi nak kalian ke jungking ingin buram ya katang ikat ya bi. Para bedang isutu dagingnya. Katsan Sngi kila orang tu ngin hati kata Katsan Sngi. Ngin hati kata Katsan Sngi, adin Katsan Sngi ini leh ke.
Bisa jauh nak kena tak?
Bisa. They want in 15 days all the dues must be clear.
Within 15 days, we'll try to clear as much as possible.
Because they are not satisfied. If you said we will try, then
No, 15 days we will give you some partially payment as much as possible. Remaining payments will take a little bit more time. See, I have already told you
they are not happy.
the whole process that we followed us. The government process.
We already made enough time.
We have received assurance from CEO. Please humbly request you, do not disturb the public office. People are coming here to get things wrong. So I have given you an assurance. I understand your problem, but I have given you assurance that within 15 days we will try to clear payment partially. After that, also we will clear. Everyone is in the room. Everyone knows. Everyone is aware of the issue. Okay, and they will clear your payments. I'm just asking you for 15 days. Within 15 days, this is my assurance. They will clear your payments partially. Remaining payment will be done immediately soon after that. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So now I humbly appeal all of you, kindly do not disturb the office. It's a public office. 15 days of time I'm asking from you. Kindly, please, it's an humble appeal. People come to this office from a long, cover a lot of distance, spend a lot for their work to be done in the DC office. This is not the right way.
Just for 1 day, sir.
All
Just
our
for 1
drivers
day.
also they are coming from a really long.
Yes, I understand.
Just for 1 day.
Yeah, I understand. But this
They
is
have
what
lost just to stop our
Yes,
vehicles.
I
One
know.
day also.
I know this. But I'm asking you for 15 days and clear your payments partially in 15 days. I have got this assurance from the CEO sir, from Chief Secretary sir. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. The whole process of the funds and all that I have already explained it.
Okay, sir. Then try from your side. to clear all the bills within 15 days.
Within 15 days, clear all the bills.
Also,
Then you keep
they
quiet.
won't clear the bill, then they must take full responsibility if something will happen.
I'll be meeting them
Because we also want to say it clearly to fellow people. Let also they will know.
I'm having a meeting with both of them tomorrow itself. We discuss in detail. In 15 days, we'll clear some of the payment. Remaining payment will be done as soon as possible. Now, please, I request you, kindly
No,
let
we
the
will not
office
accept
function
that.
properly.
Okay, we will not accept that one. If you clear within 15 days, then only. Otherwise, some will get, some don't get, then for them, then you will be keep quiet again. Another 15 days,
15
one month.
days, if clear the bill partially, also make sure that all the vehicles get all the vehicles. If one
I'll try to
vehicle
raise
will
up
get
your other demands
another,
also.
they will not get, then they will create
I
an issue.
understand. I'll try to raise up
Make
your
sure
other
that
department also.
all the vehicles, according to the list of requisition, all the vehicles get surrendered. The yang kat sanksi nai puat, kat sanksi na.
Wahab silver request, wahab silver
Sanksi,
request. Go with bill and election bill.
Saya PCR ka jingtom nan kam kine ki media ila dan da. Jingtom nan kam ayo. Media la dan ki kwa ka proof ka ki media kila. Ayo ta sibih kila bana ayo. Dukan ayo.
Em kata ka jing up ka di bentom daka kabakalian ka ngin up kat sam sini ka bangin ya lu ka pisan ni no ya.
Nginyo ya ka pisah.
Pero orang bayo yo clear kat sam sini ka up baik yo.
Kata ngin up kat san sngi. Lada hapo kat san sngi. Ngimyo ingin sa simpat kan ki we gilap jingi ki. Nila ya apa? Minta ka sngi kata jingso Sofia ke bajur nakaliang ke Joint Action Committee all riboy passengers vehicle mentah ke sengi nila sange ya kamai kaji baru ikali ke jungi nila yawan ban penpau ya kedak jong ke jing Sofia ke jungi angne pelau jong audisi ke jingwan ke jungi bangi pep ya kamai kaji kalong halor ke jing bomyo ya ke bil ke jungi kata nadu ke bil COVID-19 kumjuru ke bil jong election MLA badang sudaction ke nak kapor nak kaliang ke JAC wilayawan bani kendu ya audisi banpan ne bandawa ya ke hok ke bangi dei banyo dan rei nak kaliang audisi usu aipor panpor si panpor batu aipor bu tanggi jingkular dan rei haduk ini kisngi ngimyo ya kata ke bil ke badangsa dei halor kene da ke jing susi batu jing Sofia, mentah kesengi, selesai disin, nilawan, lengba ke jing sange, kali kamai jungi baru penwan ni kendu, penyakaran audisi, namar kepor ke bau ai kalakut, mentah kesengi, nilayo penyakaran bat audisi, ba kadau ayu ba penslam, ya kapisa ke badangsa, bat balai, klem burom ya kepor ke ba ngila ai, nakaliang audisi, ulayatu yangi ba kapisa kamsyong tang kabor ka jongu namar ka pisa wahab ban perlaj bu CEO nate na po Shillong ngila keliru yo ya kadau mano ban bak kli ane mano ba penslam ya kata ka pisa mereka jubab ka bangi yo na u kalong ba kadai na CEO na kaliang audisi mula ya keren bat CEO bat chief secretary ban yatai alor kane ka benta ka bangi ki driver ngi ya kendu Tendau lah dep ya keren buat CEO, buat chief secretary, orang ba pun sapen like no, kloi kat bala ya kapisa ka badangsa. Karena kalian kejungi ngila dawa ya bangi muhun ya kapor ka ba, lane ya kata kejungi keren ka ba ai henrei udai ban ai yangi kapor ka ba tikna ba hadu kat nusngi kan simpor ya kata kapisa ban penlai. Dei halor kajing pemuhun kejungi ane kajing yai dawa kajungi na kaliang audisi mulai por biang mentah kasngi nadu kane kasngi hadu khatsan sngi ba on penlai lot ya kapisa kata kapisa kabil COVID-19 kunjuru kabil jongu election snap arajar arplai ya na kaliang kajungi nila menjur ya kata kapor ka bau ai khatsan sngi bat ngin ap sitom ku mangila yai ap baru si kata ngin ap sitom sa khatsan sngi bat niru na kaliang kajungi ngila krensai balada hapo khatsan sngi samenta ka kenti umperlai ka gamut ka JAC kan sasim da ka senjam ka bakham teng e bat ngin pun pena da kilat jing yaki ki bakham teng e bat ngila keren lu ada ngin ya ke jing ki ke batenge ke jing bakli hapsim hi ke district administration na kalian ke jungi ngin omsim ke jing bakli henry ke district administration ke hap bensim ke jing bakli we try kali ke chong kum ke duty kumba men hakiner ngila de yatu don ki kali ki bangat lai tayo don ki kali ki bangat si benai don kali ki bangat si laisngi don ki basa lai po wajar don ki basa sampo wajar don ki basa de kilang namar kabil ka bisa ba khambun ka de jong covid-19 namar kabil hang tu de kilak ngisa de kata ka ba bu yang ngi pedang ka jing e namar kum ki babu i kali kamai ngi hapan renew ya ki kwat kislagi jongi tengi kermen ba lata yo kabil manakane ban renew andre kabil ngim yo nila susim da karam kasya nemban penim i kwat kisla kali ka jongi te endang ila yo e kabil ngin sasiu pat na kita gi beriu ki bangi simram andre ka jing penslam ban yo e kabil kabu jing e yangi nila cha daj ram na kita gi beriu ki bala ai pisa yangi kata ka jing e bangi ya
dia kalian macam kinong yo bukan mo kantin hakani ka election idon ko makan arti ki kantin kibangi ai pendiang ka bam gadi na bertagi ba don di election dan rega basusi long bahado menta ngidang yo na pisatang san ko ajar au na Januari rehadu menta ngi klebio ilawan bani kedu la arsin laisin ilawan lang tangi la ai ka jing toru au na April SIDC hang taru ong ini aipor arteo tinggi laap dari kamlong kam kataru tinggi lawan biang kilan ai biang gajing tho sakui pat show CEO show DC bat kunju sabaro di MLA jong kadi boy bakin keren lem da kabantai jong ni namar wapun mengi kinong bukan ni sak beram mo kinong aeroson ki ba aido yang ni ki ba ai kijung don kam jong ni ki ba dapat bangin siu ka bay nong tray kunju te Henry kata kejing ai cumi kata kopi so si orang tu tentangin tip yo kupor ni kalau puno ka yai puno dia kata tena kalian cumi kata kadau kata kasmi ngitip kawan ke JC tena kalian cumi tu pergi dong bukan tin dia wan ban ya support lah kata bentar ban itu
ano ini bisa ba beli yo ini
kata bisa te ngintip kalau lala kejong hidukan no idon hidukan tiba koi santo tam don hidukan tiba koi arto lai ko don kita koi di kau don koi di kat kita lala kejong mu
kedua lang kum ka por bag ai lang na JC ni don la kajong kata time frame
tengi la kali mede di city ong ba ai por kan sini tengi hap ya kata kan sini ya kata kan sini ya kata kam siso tengi ban seba banyi tengi na join lang bagan ni JC bangin perpal di jina ki kata hindawai kita kok
Inconvenience and difficulties abound as the construction of a two-lane road from Nongstoin to Rambrai takes its toll on commuters in the region. The responsible company's failure to spare enough space for vehicles has caused significant hardships for people, particularly during medical emergencies, when delays on the muddy road can be critical. The situation has become so dire that the FKJGP Rambrai Circle has taken action. On August 1st, they submitted a letter to the EE of PWD Department West Khasi Hills District, urging him to intervene and provide assistance to the distressed people in the area. The plea for intervention comes as the local community continues to grapple with the consequences of the poorly planned road construction, hoping that swift action can alleviate their hardships and restore ease to travel in the region.
Tenaga yang ke FKJGP Rambrai Circle mentagasni na kajing urjing nam pajba aklai kawan na kota kajing pentrei jangka Spika company ba pentrei na surop tulan na duk Nongstoin Rambrai chai kaun ba menta kidang pentrei ya kena ka kaiswan aduk mautir dan na kalian kajungi ngiwan ya kaban bu kajing jor kajing tho au executive engineer mentagasni bat nagliang executive engineer mdon bat ngai yo ban keren bat SDO Astan Engineer jangka Division 1 Nongstoin ba lingba jong ngi kwa ba ban phat tuklar lam ya kana company ba kadai ban perkhat lam ki pajba hakalai kawan khamtam ki ba lechim dawai ki ba kit ki marba mardi na markat banang yat kana ke jing pentrei kablang wan uslap kakti ka surak banila i serkai syai kali ba wat tang kali special ki pick up ba pendon kam nadu nang tai na rum lau biba saduk sama ter ba kim lai shu bat bun ki mensimbriu hajaka ba kin yo ya ka jing yarap fast age na kam taban poi hapo PRC ramrai hendrei ki du la ki jing im leng ba ka jing sniu palat te surak te nakliang jungi kaseng ni kerpat ia ka te ka company ba ka dei ban ya trilang bat kinong sonong hapo jong ka ramrai ngim kwa ba menta ban pendap ya kata ka jing trei hendrei kwa pang ba kat ba nang pentrei ba ki kali ki ba yat bayang kali jong ki rupa ba ki dei ban yo ban lek aki jing don kam ki jong ki bat kham tam ngiu i ki jing pentrei kenro ki muri ba kim da biang ha tang suan malumala slap kila tawano ki kenro kila tawano ki muri te ngidap da jing susi haba ngi pentrei kat ke company ndrei kalong kum ba pentrei tang kiru simen te sian nak liang kasang ngin seyo ya ke ban lek ban bu ke jing ujor sa sya u deputy commissioner jang ka west hill ba untuk klarlam kalor katai ke benta
HYC Women's Wing, NEHU and NEP Implementation Committee of NEHU held a meeting with the Vice Chancellor on the 1st of August to demand an urgent meeting of the Academic Council. The purpose of the meeting was to have all principals, interest groups and government officials present to discuss the implementation of the National Education Policy 2020 NEP 2020 in colleges across the state. The leader of HYC, Robert June Kharjaran, expressed that the intention of NEHU to implement NEP 2020 received mixed reactions from students both in favor and against it. He emphasized that the decision to implement NEP 2020 should be made by the Academic Council as it holds the authority for policy decision making. During the meeting with the Vice Chancellor, it was confirmed that NEHU would provide academic support to colleges that still require educational equipment for the implementation of NEP 2020. In response to the demands, the Vice Chancellor promised to summon teachers, college principals, government officials and interest groups to a meeting to further discuss the matter.
Liang jong ka HYC sengkimi harangkat ka jingadon lang jong ka nehusu mentang sengi ngila wan kendu ya UVC haka jing dorong kat lang bat ka implementation NEP implementation committee jong ka nehu haka jing dalam khamat dari chairperson ibadi kong sungo na education department ti ka jingwan kendu ka jongi ha mentang sengi UVC kalong ba hadin bang ngila yoi kala don ka jing mi artli ki sur haki khubor ki boper halor ka jing rai chong kanihu ban implement no ya ka nah national education policy arjar ko ti kuma POE kalong ba hadin ba kanihu ka shim ya karai ban pentri kam no ya ka NEP ha kata ka hybrid model kebomud ba lada ki colleges ki la sngu la lane sngu kwa ban implement ya ka NEP kin implement tilada ki colleges ki bom patla ban implement ya ka NEP kidang boot ya ka policy ka barim kata ka hybrid model kalami ka jing kalami ka sur ka ba don ki ba padiang ya ka don ru ki ba kantak ya ka kalami ru ka sur wat na ki nong kai ki badon burom ki jongi ki ba pen pau ya jing persya hadu ban ong ba ki boycott wat ki jing ya ki jing hikai tikani kala ban long yangi kum ka seng bangi haban wan jing sai ki jing ban implement ya kata NEP ka ka jing bha jong lada implement but ki jing lada ngim implement ya ka NEP tingila kali ya shibun ki jing kali ki ba ningkong dong ngila kerjai kalong ba hato kanihu kan INM ya kata ka academic support ya ki colleges ki ba don na boleh ko mangitip kolong habang sedang ban implement ya kano ka policy thamai ki don kambet ya kane ka jing yarap ane kata ka support ni lakali shushu na boleh ko balong mentang ki student ki wala da berung haki colleges ki bofer ki la da berung da katu ko ul syllabus ki la siuru ya ka fees ke jongki katkum ka syllabus ka barim ti hatu kan donam don ke jing kala ha ka choice jong student mata Kandan namdan ka kandan namdan ka pressure ye ki college kumbalong mata ban penbiang kan san ki nong kai ban penbiang ye ki tiar kita ban penbiang ye ki jidon kamboro bat lada ki haban penbiang ye kita ka jingkeli kalong mono ba haban siu kita habakut hi ngitip kalong ba ki haban siu ki samla puli kamut kandan le se ka jingkiu jong ka fees ha ki jaka puli ki bo fer bat kata le se kala ban kata ye ki kimi ki pa ye ki bahing hasem ki ba support ye ki student sakawai pat ngila keli dah kabasai la biang nam biang ki study material nam ta ki nong ikai bat nam ta ki student no boleh la dak lam kot in ya puli kumno bat la dam don kot ki nong ikai ru ki ikai kumno kata de ki concern ki hot ye ki benta jong ka infrastructure de ki benta jong ka jingthung ye ki no kai ye ka sponsorship kata ka di ka mamla ka bangi hab ne keren ba ka sarkar kam lalong bangi ne keren bat nehu ya kata basa ka wiru ngila bansai namo beli kumba kami haki media menta kalong ba beli kata ka academic council jong ka nehu kim simla shim ya ka rai ban implement no menta snam ya ka NEP ngila kerensai la tangke executive council jong nehu kala namla ban sim ka karai na boleh la da pinpet ya ka stetu bat ka ordinance jong nehu ka kerensai ba ye ki policy matter jong ka nehu and hab ban sim rai da ka academic council but ban chu implement ya ka en sale da ka executive council ha jing so thu ko jong ni kalong kat ya ka rai ban implement ya ka NEP di ban sim kadi ka policy making decision but haba kadi ka policy making decision ni so ban ong ba kadi ban rai da ka academic council no boleh kadi ke policy making decision tina takadaw gila panjing pensai bat kawai da ki jing dawa ki ba naka liang jong ka seng jong ka HYC bat nege bat naka ne usu kalong ba gila dawa na unehu na u VC ba ude ban sim jing kit kli ban penbet e kini ki kenrum kenram ki bami kini kita yo kumbami mata gila dawa ban khot ya ka emergency meeting jong ka academic council la ne kadu meeting ha ba barok ki principal but ki important stakeholder let's say ki official na state government but ki seng balang ki di benadon lang ta kanang ba kanom ta ya ka future.
In a recent development, the Meghalaya College Teacher Association MCTA has expressed concern over the decision made by the Vice Chancellor to implement the National Education Policy 2020 during the academic year 2023-24. According to A. Rani, the General Secretary of MCTA, this decision has raised misleading implications for both colleges and the government. A. Rani strongly advocated for the reconsideration of the decision and proposed shifting the implementation of NEP 2020 to the academic year 2024-25 instead. He highlighted the frequent meetings between principals and the Minister of Education, where they voiced majority difficulties faced in implementing NEP 2020 under the current conditions. The teachers and principals have urged the government to halt the decision, but they found themselves bound to comply after a notification was released on July 12. A. Rani expressed doubts about the Education Minister's involvement, stating that they seem to disassociate themselves from the implementation of NEP 2020.
General Secretary ke MCTA ke Nekopor ngasngo ko muri pa iba hagajing yu ijong asimet ngasngo ba kan bha ya university ba kan pensange iswa sipor ya gajing pentrekam ya ka kata kamut nai pentrekam na kan ka academic session talong kabala le no akas nam ka babut le se in senang address ke ni issues pentelun ya ke kam nadu kata ka kherdop ka penengkong ka banyak ter nginya penkrea igijing ya ke bala banwan nginya trelang te le se ngin sayo igijing job ke kata gade ka bang isu ajumur ku individual member.
Kesangi iba nakaleng jongka iswasi berkani husu mene kla like kandu VC deh. Dan nakaleng jong VC kular ban khot ya kini ki stakeholder ba ki principal ba ka state government lani ki seng balang ban kum thop lang ha kata ka meeting man ya kran halor kene ka NEP. Dan nakaleng jong pi ka kinong ikai nagane ka MTCA deh.
MCTA.
Ha pin wan yashim bentana em ha kene ka meeting lada
lada kladon ke bokum kata ke invitation nagalian joga university pi ngidon hangne kanne ngiatre ngikhi ngeksa naga benda jumno naga benda ka bha kamiat jong ka pule puthi apo jong ka jala namar mdei te mengisuika yo tulop lakut enjoy ka kamdei kumta ngidon ke jingkit khali tingi kwa e ka bhatam ka banja e ki khoni ki ti ye ka ri ka ja benri bha ka jala ka jungi Ti nagaliang jungi lara kadon ka bakum kata te definitely kumu general secretary ngan supply se kata ka meeting bat ngin sa shim ya ka decision ya ka bangi de benle. Ting ni pa sakmat ka bakum kata, ni pa sakmat. Te ka banga suka ban pengkerma hong ni kalong kan ni. Bana kalian juki principal sru namangi jiu dan lang barki ha gitu ki por ki belade hadu bunai jun ngani tu ep kidon ki series of representations ki meetings baru education minister baru chief minister bar ki wei lapan pau na ko ka por ba dang don jing empala ban kre e gane ki nep ban pentri kam mukmak ha gane kesnem tena kalian juki ru kila dawa kila kerpa sa sarkar ban pensange shwa ya kane ha kane ka samoi puli jo kesnem araja rapla kusang Tenrai hadin pekalawan pakaneka Julai 12 notification te kini ki babun ki colleges ru ralong gumba sufu seki pindah puli kan notification te ralong gumba supen bore ki babun ki bapri kendak ngai gumba ki lasu apa ungu la ko ungu karena tiga kai ibu jenge tiga wei ke bangasu pela pakalong bana kalian juga government ngai ke statement jong education minister wong igini kiktian ba wong ngim don bor haga bedei barkaneka NEP dan ke jing pentrai kameka ladang aku wong igini kiktian ngi kalawan khamtam adin ba ke university kalawan ra ya katul ka notification ka ba ngalawan pri hangi ka ba khat artarik jong Julai arajar apulai kabalawan sendet kene ka notification sha ki colleges barakoi bakide ban pentrai kamno ya kene ka NEP nado kane ka samoi puli meta academic session arajar apulai arpusa barha kane ka notification kala tho shai ba ya kane ka notification ya kane ka rai la shim kat kum ka jingalang jong ka academic council meeting ka basis pa shipeu I kiong bala in pursuance of the decision taken at the 110 academic council meeting te kata ka academic council meeting kalalong ka artarik jong June te ki dekhot jong ka MCTA saungut kidon hanta ndai ki dekhot jong ka MCTA handai ni shu channelize na kalian jong ka MCTA ha jing sisa ki dei ki representatives jong kino hikai baro ko ka state kiri dan hantai ken namar gane ka academic council kat kum ka nehu ap ki mentip ka dei ka principal body lani ka dei ka dor barba jong ka nehu ka banyara ya baro ko ki policy matters te ki dekhot jong iri kita na kata ka meeting te kat kum ka notification la tho shai bala dap sim ya garai ban pentri kam le ban penjari ya kene ka policy ha ka tai ka jingalang ka basungsi kalong makabakum kata kam sim don ha ka jingikran bat ndala ai ki minute sengi ya puli ndu pasdang ndu ka kotu si kentien ka bakum kata kam sim dan terima kata karau kani kaladai ka jingalam bakla jong ka school ba ya baro ka ki colleges ba nang scam kene ka jingalam bakla kala adai ru wat ya ka sarkar jela te hagajing sisa ngaladap ay ke press release talap ay bat khasi bat phareng dengan scam ki babuan ki balayo ban puli ki tip dan dina ka benta gajing sai jugi pai ba te ngan juba begini ki jing keli ki pila bo te ka benengkong e ka point ka banga de kwa ban mara hane kalong ka ei kani ka non cooperation movement lani ka jing bam ya trelang jongi bat ka school ba nehu ka jing bam ya trelang jongi hanne kalong halor ki artali ki mat kaman ka beningkong kolong bang nginum sim ya kini ki first semester classes ki bahap apo jong ka FYUP lani ka 4 year undergraduate program ti ya kini ki classes ki badai hapo jong ka NEP ngin boycott do de kini nginum ya trelang number 1 kabar kolong bang nginum sim ru ya kino ki kam lani ki assignments ki biadai bar ka jing pentri kam ya ka NEP lain no nagani ka jing hikai ka jongi namar kidon security kam no ka jing hikai kila ban pha ikini ki confidential duties paper settings kini kita ki bukum kita kila ban don te ki bukum kita ru ila ai daga jing pentip pai ba sikit khot ki jongi ba kim dei bani sim benta bat kani ka kam ban pha daga school ba ne huyangi te kani ka di ka jing ba mitri lang ka jongi bagane ki simbam trelang jongi kan sedang nado mentakas ni kumbang lo ngipi kal dap sedang nado mene haka si tarik jong unailar arajar akula kata ka benengkong kabar pila ben kli kene ke por balai bangim ya trelang balai bangim ya trelang lane balai bakawan kane kanon cooperation kani ka jing pam trelang ka wan namar ba la sedang da ka school bahi kanon cooperation kala sedang nak school ba lengba jong UBC ka e gijing ba metri lang ka UBC ule Lakimi nanti ba kajing penteri kami ya ke NEP kumbala atho haka section 27 jongka ba kidon ki various stakeholders ki authorities ki nugi ba long concern ki bodies ki balong concern ban implement ya kini kita kide banya wanlang banya trilang banya peniak sakmat ya kene kakam tende ke basnusi kelong ba kanehu kamsim layat ya kita kesinjam baro
kila bangnya ko sistem lar ki kwa banya de NEP
kata kejengkran kadai kejengkran kapam semutanat nak kalian jongi kum ke MCTA dan nak kalian jonga sim metro tapi pentrekam pihak pentrekam baru apa baik gestir himla benong bai sidang siliang ne pentrekam sidang siliang ne pentrekam kumno bila badan arteli ki ordinance arteli ki rule ha kajo kayin kawai de old system kawai de new system kini gila ya sakmat kini gidang don hadian kapakum kata kaja sistem kan warak tang kejing kelumar sudah kan jayu kita ki badan ha old system kan jayu kini badan ha new system Amin ke university kamla bandron artli ki parallel system hagajuk kesatri kabamla ibalong kata kor konkren naso kolong kajengkren ka baklam da pensiong ni ha
ni kidur ki college ru ke bala pediang ya kene ke NEP ke ek ba pidan panong lor kene
ya kajeng pediang ba kajeng pam pediang jong ki colleges ngim don ni e banong ya kata ki suthu khamha maki ne mar maki ki dei ki heads of the institutions di kabangi ngikran in general kolong ya kalenti kumno ban pentrikam ngidei ki stakeholders sangne ngidon hake meeting ngidei ki dong hikai ngitip ki ins and outs of the policy ngiyui ki implications ki ba khmat tingi sngo bala lara kajing sedang kolong kapam dei te kamut kajinga lenti kala banong ka ba kai dele kajing sedang kala bakala kaya ti kala ti kena bakan makra tiana makata kata ngim kwa gen bangin ya hablan kata kaju ke syrip dekat badang biang kapur ngi kerpa lalu kabala aku mengelong ipi mene nginya pen bet mahasiswa kene kakam nginya pen sange swasi por tende se ingin saya sedang dapat haka new academic session ngi katakan dia
okay te kene kajing sange jong pi ban sim class ki khana de long kan continue be hadu wala pen be ya kene nak
karkum ka meeting bangile esong ngila ya perkhat ya kene tengi ong be bakane kajing pametri lang jongi kanong with effect na dokumenta kasni ten rengi lembu po te hadulan no ngim tip tele se ka donno ka jinge kran yo ka donno ka jipun baik te until further notice ngilong te kan kumtai kan te kan ke jingkran jong minister ngasno kolong ka jingkran ka bangdon jingkit khri kumno ka state government kala manong kumta pinda baik ya ka policy pinda baik ya kini ki guidelines kumno ban implement ya kini ka policy kani ka policy kala tho shai ba ka state government ka de ka way na ki key stakeholders na ki authorities ban penya sa prang ya kani ka kam la tho shai ha ka section ka basan jo kani ka policy ba kani education ka ha ka concurrent list Namar kata kadau ka implementation jong karu ka de ben long leng baka jinge trelang ka joint monitoring ka careful planning hapdeng jong ka state government ba ka central government de ba nong baka state government kam don bor ka don limited authority in order kata ka de jingkran bangkit khali ke kam nong ka basong tana ahli sutu juna jadi mata dau na sutuna banyo ka bukum kata ko kubor lema jong fi tingam pa yo i ka notification na ne ka invitation na bilang jong bisi tilo ka don ko bukum kata ka jingkran tengi open ya kata ngin siapa ke bangila banle nak banta ke jimha jung kena apure jungi dengan supen sha susu epi ko bakalo menta ki admission siki colleges per khaja dep ka admission siki ni colleges per khaja dep ba ki kena first year menta gladon ha rule kamut nadu BSc BCom BA kini per khaja don ba kini per khaja ki berung kum bakalo menta ka system of admission ka yang ha old syllabus ha old system ono nama boleh ingin pan yo khubor te ban pentri kam ya kene ka yu ya ka NEP padio kadang wan Julai te admission ada timenta ki kena ikla rung ha kene timenta in the middle of the way ngini thu pat ya ki ba MP menta pim de issue aka old system bila de ha new education policy ka ba umde issue laisnam kare sausnam pin puli te kan kata kum nu ki i te kum kita ki issues ki bangi ni ha ban prakhat ke nyimla ban shu take everybody for granted kam ya ha pe tingi de bendon da notification ka basai da kalenti ki babet ki ta bodon kam.
In response to recent accusations, Sinshar Khamdet, accompanied by the Hnyotrap National Youth Front HNYF, held a press conference at the Shillong Press Club to address the matter. A letter of demand for money from the HNLC, allegedly funded by Sinshar Khamdet, had surfaced a few days prior. Sinshar Khamdet categorically denied any involvement in demanding money on behalf of the HNLC. He stated that his name had been misused by individuals with malicious intent, aiming to tarnish both his reputation and that of his family and the HNLC. To counter the allegations, Sanchar Khamdej has filed an FIR with the Meghalaya police station and investigations are currently underway. His family members have also come forward to vouch for his character, claiming that he has never been involved in any such activities. The situation remains under scrutiny as authorities continue their inquiry into the matter.
Dengan bukan percaya di media baru subscribe video lese kadon syakwe galender bagi sim ya ka kisim kabu ya ka banang lajong hi na namde bang apa percaya kata
angka lawan file
ngala file ga FIR
kai di
ane hapon mulai police station.
Kaya ba penolong bahkan ni ni kapten jompi memberikan sisian na sisian bonsian kami kapten jompi bak lengkap kata ka diman lut kepada dia ka kata help jom ka finansi. Kaya ba penolong pak bani
ya kata ngam tip mah balik kami ka kapten juga ka penukam ngai atas isu pak ini dengan kamu tadi apa angkai apa sih itu untuk suka itu mah jadi yang ka apa tengah boleh apa lah desa tak tahu marmar kata juga sing kalau lebih sedikit boleh deh dengan tip nak kata wayu baka misi kamu na kalian cuma ngalamut ngala IT ya boleh ngala le file ka FIR ngalamut kanang pausu ngala susah dan minit 4 jangan tadi ngala pau yang ngala iga ka di pesan berkorban ngala kadang perlu dia ngalu nakai kata kadang rate ngalang pemerintah pesan senabe ayu tapi pulih bahaya ka perbuat dadu ba ka stanmi kan namar kabami pindin kadang arjara buwe ka perbuat te long nanta mensua ampor ba kami ka perbuat teman katu napor mohar idon ita iya menjauh katu apa ka perbuat te menta ila don istri we ini hatempat kami so ini ba sambal wala mensua kadai kasanlah mata kalau kau cakap pula tangan taruh mila suatu bukan dia panggil khabar bakal sudah ke nomor email untuk kerja semua dan kalau nak lekor ini ngalah pasang di banyak kawan perkata nomor kerja kamu itu kami kamkai nomor kalaya penjut di Islam kami kalau kita banyak kerana itu kata ini banyak alam berbentuk.
Lalu kalian jawab lima pun semua bagi ada hadir di pihak FIR dan lagi isu boleh amal ini. Semua bagi tiga kamar itu bukan waktu pun. Nampak mau kaji syak guna bukti kena leh sakai kali sini. Kita kena bagi
kulit kira sistem mana? Kulit sistem mana?
Kira kon ni
Kalau lebih mana?
Musim.
Kan banyak ayu kita dan nampak masuk dari ini mana?
Sifat orang fi kawan po kay image rupang berlaku yang ada rupang dalam mister kami kita yang fi badon jadi bisa tahu bisa iwi kong masang mulai berkata himla bantu kita ikong nama kita nguri kan pensyahire ka jadi kan matahire sumi ikong ta po rupang menin tina kalian kejungi kami pat soal kata kasi tahu bisa kalau ba kami kita jungi hindi mo bat mereka kataru bat gaji dua bisa untuk gaji kena para sekei kami sama kulit dengan tuan marba kadang ke om gaji rapor kata kadang ke pisar om bagilasi mo tina kalian ke cumi logi kuat kita kibri ba syale itu kata pi kinwan cepat mau kalian gaji ting kalian gaji sti namakan om syai baka HNLC kalau ada om syai te bakam dan tentang ada tentang mener pun ada kan pasadon di om banam kalian HNLC kam dan tentang Partner kalian kat jalan siru, ini tangan yang kamu tak cukup bawa tangannya. Dan kalian juga jalan siru kan yang ikut Dedi, kan yang wai lamar bar, ini kami tak kerten jogi nak lagi kat tu kan kerten kami. Dan kalian juga CMF tu ni wai kita. Dikinung kindu tu basyak tawa pisah, kalian kejogi persen, lagi kuat kecengeram kim day banting kim day mansmi. Mangin haban yang baik kita tahu banwat kita kibri baru kita manis mak. Nama kita di belas siru, kiki dia banwat mak ni. Nama bagi rumah pisah kita apa yang propose Kristo. Nama bagi Namar ba kumdi director collector usul pada ko director mai ki brio bexwan pa ki tekte ko menen ru ni kumno gami ko for panjingarap ni keseng HDF ya den ba tempat email jong rumpan ni setip ekta dina kalian jong menen gila shin ga jing ka responsibility bantuan kita ki brio ini dari bos menen pat ni brio ba lawan syahmat lawan ko office kita keren ni kata tiba bersyai lalu atau nomor beli dan atau ilai phone ni batu baisaman juga Chelsea baman bat kila ekran ni ka phone lambat phone ni masadan tina kalian ka cumi ni lamas mutushu kaya manuba dawa ya kadika bisa ya mar iu ila pai mir dan di bayi kosan kin dan para cumi ti fila pun kali khamhash ya ka ei ka ba dei na rumde lagi bayi mas shompat ki bakinya ki bayi masan ki bakin wan kin don so kui bak ten niru tani padlang sepuluh mga jai pat tigila di manwa ka jai lebe to nagalian jumi kesenge fi kalau ba hindi la ko ni mo game namar ba kinang don so malaong mantan agalan to nagalian jumi kadi kam pujo police department bande ke badan kam manwa ko kam namar mantan la kiya le pake email di ha shi gani ka tai police de mala ma de namar shi mata ka internet barok kila location manwa de barok ila ila da bisa lagi email buat apa cara apa besar ya kita dengan kamera juga kulit berwarna gitu kemudian kamera juga teman ini syaraf kayak apa nah kalian nama pengi dia dan mentam di bagian sini nama bapak presiden juga di Rusia ini hak penyarap ya kayak saya ikam overground dan jauh-jauh berwarna gitu buat nama kayak channel sih dari hadu mentam apa pensyai pada kayak channel sih kamu juga wapisa hiu nah itu Islam jom mana dia nama mentam ni juga wapisa hiu Islam jom dia setengah tahi lah lagi beliau hidup kata iya jadi wa ai ke kaya nata ni limit bunu ai dan kalian jom nasa kisin kan pakai HDF tu bat wa maham sa kisin ki penekam mendawa bisa ya hanya keteng HDC lembaga HDF tu ketahu nak sendiri ni wan bagi tweet ni beliau ini tre namar kalau minta polis sudah dicempian ni ke HDF tu ni nanya cepat mending bukan orang fisik kota ni dengan hapan wat sudah kita beri bang penegam kelam namar kadang ke pistol kadang ke cengeng keren mentah nanya cepat namar kadang ni beri di bawah bangpa ke Chelsea bagaimana cepat namar tayo bagaimana ke Chelsea kadang ke jidu unong ni yo unong satu ni sini kena kalian jongi ke HDF ni anut bagaimana ni kami juga cengeng keren besok mandang ni kata jeng syong-syong kisan hapen
in a bid to improve child welfare in Meghalaya, the state's Minister of Social Welfare Department, Paul Lungdo, has sought permission from Smriti Zubin Irani, the Union Minister in charge of the Women and Child Development Department, to establish Integrated Child Development Services (ICDS) centers in 1,500 villages. Speaking through a video conference from New Delhi, Paul Lungdo stated that the minister has assured to verify the functioning of the Supplementary Nutrition Program (SNP) through the ICDS, but the final decision is yet to be confirmed by Smriti Zubin Irani.
Kita di funds kiba di benwan syaka department pejongi social welfare kiba la sateng nado ke pastang jongka financial year di nak benda kini keadaan kecil pendek bah apa arnai kidan ki commitments nak kalian jong ke department jongi kiba gidang saten ban pendek ya kiba apa arnai kecing don lang ke jong commissioner and secretary jong ke department Mr. Bakchi ngiladap ai ke kebenaran pendek ya kita ki berang sateng di formalities nak kalian jongi rang bagi nyok ban release lut ya barok ki fund nak benda kini ke arhajar arpulai arpusau kini kan yarap bagi nyok ban siu no ya ki portion workers jongi kiba apa jong kini ke settled scheme kidang sakut ki salary jong sau benai di kebaal kalau mbak ngiklan yang bangin nak berdaki nong kendong kiba empat yo coverage buat jong kini ke ICDS kiba kuat Mbak Khatsan Spa Teliki Shillong. Di nak betajuk kini ke Menteri Kelakuran ke Center Kelong Ploy dan release ya kan 90% dan 4% ke central share. Din ba ngi ngelak keluar bagi penbiang ya ke state share ke badai 10%. Di ya kan niru ni orang bagi pendap bro QR live night kiban wan. Ki additional DPOs kibagi pan nak benda lightly ki district ya kan niru Menteri Kelai ke assurance ba kan pendap ladang gimla bro lightly and ray lakmuno saartli ki DPOs ki batmai nak benda jalan jongi kabasau kabagi bu khmat jongkar beron kamha kelong ba ban continue ya kene ga ai bam na benda ki kelung hapo andrus nem ki kentai ki bapun bat ki badang aidut iki kun bat unjuk ki kena kentai adolescent girls de ngilak peni bat kini kalau ke record bah keluar bah rasyuti ya ke department hadu ubnai me mentakas nem namar baya kini ki program repair jong sarkar me la tie up yaki bat ke Aadhaar card hadu ubnai me khaatrik me alhajar kulai ke coverage jong ki Aadhaar card hame galia kalau khat lai percent but nakate gadau kalau don ru kajing penskau nak galia ke ministry bakal hab ban consider ban pensange no ya kini ki central scheme kum ka supplementary nutrition program SNP kalau don kajing pengamba kin pensange no namar ki babun ki beneficiaries kim don ki Aadhaar card bat kadon gajing shifting yo ni pendan kam bakla ya kani ke program denrei kabas nutanat kelong ba benta hadu benai Jun na pedang benai Mei hadu benai Jun naga khat lai percent kala pat syarat kendai percent but hadu benta kesni ke coverage under Aadhaar card registration kalau pai kendai punyo percent na pedang Mei hadu mentau Julai kalau kiu nak kat lai syarat kendai punyo percent di nilai assurance bakin continue ya kena ke supplementary nutrition program bakin yang kerja nyanyi aboro ki activities ki jong ke department.
In a plea to boost the local economy and provide sustenance to the region's families, the leaders of the Federation of Khasi, Jantia and Garo people, Southwest Khasi Hills, urged Hek Minister of Animal Husbandry and Veterinary to establish animal farms in the district. The initiative aims to encourage livestock farming among the villagers, thereby increasing their income and ensuring a steady supply of meat and other food products for families dependent on them. The leaders are hopeful that this move will open doors of opportunities for the people of the district in the field of livestock farming.
Kalian juga FPGP Southwest Khasi Hills District nilayo manuan mania kendu minister in charge juga animal halus subandari nilayo ni kendu ba Hek but hadin bengilia kendu ni sumit memorandum AI mania habiyadai bata mensiting ya ga farming apa distrik Jongi tina kaliang jong omai ini kam aman studi Shillong parla ban airai mentah tinggi haga jing start jong minister chat ban banle ya badon kam bede bakanika kapam apa distrik Jongi tina kaliang jong ni gaseng ni gasingi
yo man ya kendu ni singi wan man jong ti kunti press media ban ai ni ka message ki pa ba no song chnong jong ka district ka jong ni ba ya ni ka family ka bang ila yo man ya kendu minister ni soba ka kan lo sukses hadir nakliang di minister wa omongan sim ke jing klik ni kan raisa ka wi ka skim ka ba nakliang di minister omongan hagini dia singin pelajar skim dia dai bagi individual apa veterinary di ni kerpa di kipat ba no sungsinon yo district ba sim ke negala ban leche ki veterinary wadon ki office aman la ki block ban bu ki application kenang ba kini yo ita ki skim ki ba nakalian go minister wa pula em kata kalong ba ni yo i ke jing kiu dor ki mar ki kamtam ka do hago ya dei bat ki hapo district ki jongi nomor ma ni keli ki nong odo ni omo balai ka kiu dor man ga si ga do ki ona ma ni haban thit na bar na asam ni haban thit na kiwe bat ki district tingi ko man set up ni ga farming hapo district ki jongi kalau man yara bi kita ki jing ki ba kena man penhiar ya ga dor habi dei bat ki mat na dok nomor ma kumalong jai baru ke jongi kadi jai baru ba bam dok we dei ki dok la kalong dok siap dok snian mat ki we jai dok tingi i ba kanlong ke jing yarap yang ka district lo da kan ga farming ga don hapo district jongi ke farming yang ka poultry farming baka siap baka snian kan saya kan terjaga baru em ka jaka ting nagali yang jungi kuat banyak po headquarter apo headquarter apo mo korban kawai di bang simkai kene adin bang nagali ka central buri ka len si ka to social economic development ka to por teleba ka to ngi len ka steng report if se ngi la travel na kawai ka shno solution no kuno bunwa mathawa thanti ki samajungi dibel report straight tei nubang la aja survey jungi ilap ba ki sama jugi hantu ki kham kursutit ya ka rejing ni tei sutu balen bal di don tu ka fam tu kalam sibta ba berpinkiu ki sembam ndam taban hakari jing ni nomor lembaga don fam tu lap le tring tu na ta plus ilap betit tu ki siar ne ku ki sinam ba re ki hajo tu ki sinam tei dak tei kada ploy ngi ba ngiwan sikane ban chau musta ta jugi ban oi u ban khamle khamplay kade bantar nang ba belum nak kapor nak kalian government ka UO yang kata ba ka kisama kita punya fakir macam kemat bentau kita sendiri udah bersyukur yang lain lana start tina ba nak kalian keseng sutu ba kade kawe kelab akam ajan kisama la kadang reform kabut ba kisama kelab yo tading untuk proses kawe kelab sim gitu istiar badal untuk kelab ban gubernur nomor la kadang jong serta kabut ka rap na kadang alhamdulillah dalam tang defend tit istiar pun la tit istang kan kabut lo tit sim dia samla ba serta bujang puri dalam bang itu bading don kade badai kalau kawe kelab ba akam ajan kisama itu betul.
In a tragic incident in Garo Hills, a 59-year-old farmer, Milendro Momin, lost his life in an elephant attack. The incident took place in Kurung village of Pedaldoba under the Trikikila region of West Garo Hills late Monday night. Milendro and two other family members were keeping watch over their paddy field when they noticed a herd of wild elephants approaching at around 1 o'clock in the night. In an attempt to protect their crops, they tried to scare the elephants away with shouts and sounds. However, this action seemed to have angered the elephants, leading them to turn around and give chase. Tragically, they caught up with Milendro and trampled him to death. The community mourns the loss of the farmer and raises awareness about the importance of coexistence with wildlife in the region. Authorities are being urged to take necessary measures to prevent such incidents in the future. So viewers, that is all we have for today. Until we meet again, thank you for watching.